Hey everyone, Dawn here from BDR Creative Studios. Today I want to show you how I made these tea light holders. They have a living hinge on it and they're really cute. They're really fun to make. There's some fishing line that actually holds it together and it's supposed to have the appearance of floating. And it does. I mean, I can see the fishing line, but what I used is pretty thick. It's all I have. So I would suggest getting the thinnest one you can that has some strength to it. But anyways, I did do another video. I had started to make one showing how I did the living hinge and the candle holder, and it was just getting way too long. So I'm splitting it up. So this video is just how I made the the candle holder. I'll insert a living hinge. And you can do the same thing if you already have one from another project, or if you know how to do it online. There's some different programs that'll actually generate that for you. So the other video will just show you from scratch. So anyways, let's get into that. And I'm going to attempt to do the same measurements that I had done before, just because I kind of know what I'm doing. So we're going to start by getting the rectangle tool and making a rectangle. And the length on the one I had done was 10 and the width was 2. And I'm going to center it. I center everything. It just makes it easier for me and when you're nudging and whatnot. All right, so the next thing is I want these edges, these ends curved. And on Corel, we have up here, you can do each block individually. If you lock this, it changes everything just by putting your numbers into one side. So we're doing 3. I know that's what worked. And there's my basic shape. Next, I want the living hinge through the center. And through the magic of computers, there's my living hinge. And we're going to center that. And I already know that works for this one. I took it off of the sample I had already done. All right, next we need the hole that the tea light will sit into. And my tea lights are 1.5. So what I did was I made the hole 1.56. I just wanted it slightly bigger. 1.56, and the reason for that is so there's a little bit of wiggle room. So between that, just that little bit bigger and the kerf, the amount that comes off, you'll have enough room. You certainly don't want that to be jammed in there, but you also don't want it floating around either. So I put it in the center. Grab that tool, and then I'm going to bring it over to the end, and I'm just going to bring it to where it looks pretty good. That's actually that. I think that looks good. The next thing I want to do is I have to put a hole on either end, and that's for the fishing line. In my original file, I did the hole at 0.01, and basically all that did was mark it, and then I went and I did a drill. And the reason for that is the fishing line of the wire you use is going to be different thicknesses. But then I thought, let's try to make it a little bit bigger. And I have not tested this, guys. I did change the file to it. So I would recommend if you purchase that file that you do check it. So I went 0.03. I felt that was just maybe a little bit better. 0.03. And I put that in the center and I make a copy. And paste. Okay, and now I'm going to bring each one out the to the edge, and I put a center line to make sure I get it there. But if you click on it, hold down your shift key, it'll go straight over. Okay, like I said. What am I doing wrong? Why do things go wrong every time you try to do, whoops, try to do a video? Okay. And I'm going to try to get that centered. I want that X right in the middle. This size, I don't think it really matters, but I get in the habit of doing that because on larger projects, it will matter. All right, we're going to grab the next one and take it over. And I suppose if you knew the exact distance math-wise, you could just change your nudge and get it, which is what I'm going to do now. So now I'm going to put it at I already did 0.01, and I'm going to move that over I did 6. I'm not sure if that's gonna stay there, but let's just do it. So both ends, 6. Okay. The next step is you need something to go underneath this to actually hold the tea light. And if you look, you see that little bulge there? That's another disc underneath that then this tea light goes down through the hole here and then rests on that. So what I had done was I just did let's see, I made a copy, paste, just I don't know why. And then I did 1.8, 1.8, 1.8. And that I believe is what is on the file. And the problem that I had with this was not a whole lot of glue space. It looks really good, but it was kind of hard to do. So I'm going to show you 2 more ways of doing this if you want to change it. And on the one of these, what I did is, let's see, I'm going to group this and make a copy of it. Move that out of the way. And I may need another copy, but that's okay. What I had done on the original one is I drew a line down, didn't matter where. I got rid of all of this, got rid of that, got rid of that, got rid of the circle. Leave the dot. And then I group all that. And this will now sit underneath here. It'll be exact. And on here, you could put the name of your company. You could put a message. I did one, hopefully I get a chance to show you. I put some flowers here and I cut it out of the shape. It's underneath. You're not going to see it unless you actually look, but it's those nice little surprises. But the other thing you can do is instead of doing that, you just add another circle underneath it, and that gives you another whole look. Let's see, I'm going to do a 2-inch circle. I think it's going to be a little bit off. No, that's it. That'll work. So a 2-inch circle, and that gives you more area and a little bit more space to glue. However, then there's another thing you can do, which I thought is pretty cool. Like this one, you put the circle here, the little dot, okay? So you're gonna do the same thing here. So the easiest way is to make a copy and paste. And again, I don't need any of this, and I don't need that. And there's probably a double line here. So what I'm gonna do, I'm going to nudge that. That was a 2-inch circle. I'm going to do 3, and I'm going to move that out of the way. Then I'm going to get rid of what's left here, but I want that dot. And I'm going to move this back to there. And I'm going to group that. Okay, so then what you can do is you can get rid of this dot here because you've got it here. And when you go to put it together, and I'm going to show you how to do that, you put your fishing line or your wire through here, then glue it in place, and you won't have that hole on the top. So I think it'll give it a nice look, and this does the same thing. So putting this together, and I'm going to try to explain this, maybe I can do an assembly video another time. What I did was I took the fishing line, cut it longer than you need, put it up through the top. And in this case, if you're doing these, you're just going to put it up through that hole and not as fussy on this, but if you're doing it this way, where the circle, the smaller circle, bring it up a 1/4 inch, 1/8 inch, whatever thickness your wood is. Put some CA glue on and bring it back down and just keep it in place. Use an accelerator or whatever until it sets. And you may have to sand a little bit here. That's okay. The next thing you do is if you're doing it on this piece or this piece, You then will, this will have the fishing line on it. You're gonna glue it in place. So you'll be gluing it back underneath here. Let that set up. Then what you're gonna do is you're gonna put your fishing line through the bottom and you're gonna hold this where you like it. I actually had a stack of woods because I was making a lot of them, and I put them in place, and I could just squeeze the whole thing, and it was in my exact measurement, exactly what I wanted. So you put that in, you trim from underneath, so that gives you a pretty close, pretty accurate measurement. You can get rid of anything you've inserted, or if you were holding it, you can release your grip a little bit. Then what you're going to do is you're going to squeeze these two together a little bit. The fishing line's going to pop out the bottom like it did at the top. You're going to put your CA glue there, and then you're going to let it spring back until the end of the fishing line is flush with the bottom, and let that set up. And then you're done. That's it. If you want to paint it, I would recommend doing all of that before. The file I have online that you can purchase if you don't want to try this, right here. This shows you what you need. I use 1/4 inch plywood. You can do whatever you want. Fishing line, glue, your Tealights, and then paint or stain. And this shows you right here. I painted the inside. Do it before you put it together. I also painted the disc because even though the candle is on there, and that's probably how you're going to sell them or gift them, when that needs to get changed out, that little pop of color is just fun. And this one, I stained both sides, but I still put a pop of color because I just think you should. You can etch on here. You can glue on embellishments. I don't know how it would look. I haven't tried it, but going back to um, this, where you can see the fishing line, you could even put little beads in there. I don't see anything wrong with that. So you can change it up and do your own thing. I think that would be very, very fun. Okay, hope that showed you a little bit. I hope you're able to do something with that. And if you have any questions, just go ahead and give me a yell. I will do the next one on how I did the living hinge here. It's easy once you know, but unless you've done it, you just don't know. So, anyways, um, thank you for watching. I know your time is valuable, and I hope you have a very creative rest of the day. Thank you.